Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Bill Rogers.
Greg Hauser. How you doing?
And we just spent a little time this afternoon in fabulous Red Bank, New Jersey, hanging out and playing some video games at Yestercades.
Seeing the sights.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say, did a little documentary for your old stomping ground.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Hey team, it's Bill and Greg's behind the camera. Say hi, Greg. So usually we try to motorcycles. Usually we try to film little announcements for different conventions we're doing, and we're going to be doing SaikouCon in a few weeks. But Greg and I decided to take a side trip into Red Bank, beautiful Red Bank, New Jersey this week. And we are going to take in the sights, including some fun at Yestercades. So we figured we'd bring you guys along with us. Good.
Sweet, I got his wallet. Run!
All right. We should start off with some thanks to cons that we have attended this year. We had a great time at SaikouCon this year. And thanks to Maddie and the crew for having us out there. And we got to do the 3-day VA workshop, which went really well. And then
got to spend some time in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is where SaikouCon is.
Yes.
For the folks who are out in that part of the country, wonderful mid-sized convention to go to. It actually brought back some memories for me. I actually used to spend my time in the Lancaster area.
One of the Amish taffy pullers.
Yes, the Amish.
You were an Amish taffy puller.
I was one of the
Amish.
I was one of the Amish mafia.
Uh-huh.
All I'm gonna say is those people could party like there was no tomorrow. They could tear down a building. Then again, the next day they'd build it back up. So there you go. But yes, we used to party like it was $15.99 out there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
No, I actually spent time out at Millersville University.
Oh, nice.
Which was nice.
Well, when we were out there, we got to try a little of the local flavor and went to the farmer's market and got some delicious foods and treats. There was a chocolatier out there that was pretty good. I can't remember the name right now. I'm sure I'll remember later.
Some of the Lancaster homemade ice cream. Everybody seemed to like that.
Yeah. So it was a delightful, fun time. And then in June, we were in Somerset, New Jersey for Anime Next.
Yeah.
My alma mater. And I've been at almost every Anime Next. It was weird. Somebody had actually posted that online. They were like, fun fact, did you know that Bill Rogers was at the first Anime Next? And he will be returning this year. And I'm like, I'm there almost every year.
All but one, I think.
Well, I missed one, and then there was another one where actually I was involved in a theatrical production, so I was only able to come out for like the Saturday. No, it was Saturday afternoon because I had a Friday night show, a Saturday night show, and a Sunday matinee. So I drove out there for the afternoon on Saturday and said my hellos to people. That was actually a year. The year that I did that was the year that Kari Waldgren was a guest, and I felt horrible because I had contacted her before the convention because I'd never actually gotten to meet her in person, and I was like, Kari, it's going to be so exciting to see you and whatnot. And then I didn't get to go because I was going to be a guest, and then I had to back out. And then I saw Kari at San Diego Comic-Con that year, and I didn't expect her to know me from a crowd of people, but she was like, oh my god, Bill, we missed you at Anime Next. I was like, holy crap. So
let me get this straight. You stood up Kari Waldgren.
I didn't stir her up. I wanted to.
You are a bad person, and you should feel bad because you are a bad person.
I will say this is where we will Twitter hashtag whatever Kari Waldgren, because I know she has a Twitter account, and try to make amends and peace by telling everybody to go follow Kari on Facebook.
That's very nice. I was just say this year at Anime Next, we got to be out there with Mark Swint, who's the third monkey in our Voice Monkey Brigade.
Barrel of voice monkeys.
Yes. We should come up with like a fan group name. You know, I mean, for me, I always come to the Wizard of Oz. You know, just the Flying Monkey Brigade. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, it was it. Mark joined us for the 3-day VA workshop. We also were able to have Josh Greeley as a special guest. Our good friend Jonathan Klein.
And Jonathan Klein, who has follow Jonathan Klein at, oh wait, he doesn't have a Twitter account. Follow Jonathan Klein on Facebook. Oh wait, he doesn't have a Facebook account. Follow Jonathan Klein when you see him walking down the street, and he'll be like, "Get away from me!"
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Jonathan, we're pretty sure is part of the Witness Protection Program.
That's why he always wears the hat.
That's why he wears the hat, the glasses. It's all part of a disguise.
On top of the many cool places in Red Bank, there's also the Bowtie Cinemas, which was originally a Regal cinema, where they've shown a lot of Kevin Smith films and independent films. Recently they showed The Wind Rises when that was making its art house run through theaters, so it's another cool stop in Red Bank. Little known fact, did you know that I actually performed Shakespeare in the Park? And by Shakespeare in the Park, I mean Riverside Park, here in beautiful Red Bank. Was where 10 years ago, when I wore a younger man's clothes, I was in a production of As You Like It in the actual park. So technically it's considered Shakespeare in the Park. And when I say I wore a younger man's clothes, the guy who was supposed to be in the park wasn't there that day. He was a little younger than me.
Jonathan, if you're watching this, I apologize for Greg rambling on this.
I'm sorry. It's but no, we had a great he was a great judge. It was actually really wonderful to have a director.
It was awesome having a director's perspective on stuff. Jonathan's just was a godsend, and we are hoping to do more workshops with him. If you get the chance to do a workshop with us and Jonathan is there, know that you will have a producer / director who has worked on a number of high-range video game and anime titles. He's worked on just a ton of the Street Fighter and Capcom and Marvel video game properties, and then he's directed anime like Paranoia Agent and Technolize and...
I got 2 words for you. Hell and Sing.
Yes, and Hellsing.
I mean, seriously.
So
that's all you need right there.
Man's all over the place.
He is all over the place. Maybe that's why he doesn't have, Twitter or Facebook. He's just moving around too much.
Yes.
I'm still going with my witness protection theory. Just putting it out there.
But, so we had a great time with Jonathan at Anime Next. And,
yes, we did.
We are hoping that Brian and the Anime Next crew, Brian was our wonderful guest relations coordinator, did a great job this year, Brian Long. And I'd like to thank Eric Torgensen, who was this year's con chair, for having us out. And hopefully we will get to do it again next year, because we love doing it, and we love doing the voice acting workshop.
So let's not forget Vince.
Yes. And Vince.
Because Vince, who is like co-chair, correct?
I'm not sure exactly what Vince's title is. He's just the guy that's been with Anime Next for a very
long time. He is.
Time.
He's kind of like a landmark with Anime Next.
So yeah.
And that's not saying it is a bad thing. I mean, the man, he's very much, a make it happen kind of thing, kind of guy. I remember he was doing with the Japanese guest this year because I tortured the poor man on the board, and I apologize.
So behind me you can see the famous green awning of the Starbucks franchise. And while Starbucks is a great place, there's better places in Red Bank that have coffee, including No Ordinary Joe's, which is right across the street. No Ordinary Joe's is now called No Joe's Cafe, coffee house. They are a smaller run coffee shop, but I feel that they have much better coffee than the big mass-produced Starbucks type of places. If you're looking for really good thin crust pizza, Front Street Trattoria is the place to go. It's delicious, it's fabulous, and they've been around for probably close to 20 or 30 years at this point. And if you're a fan of Irish pub cuisine, or perhaps just want a pint, don't forget to stop at the Dublin House. Although he keeps early hours, the Soupmeister owns that hot dog place, which is a great place to get gourmet hot dogs and, you guessed it, great soup. Around the winter months, there are lines around the corner to get soup in this place, especially around lunchtime. So if you come during the lunch hours, they'll be open, but they'll be busy. Another mainstay of Red Bank cuisine is Carlos O'Connor's, and even though they have a strange name, they have amazing Mexican cuisine. But when I was a little fanboy and used to ride my bike into Red Bank, I'd always make a stop at Mr. Pizza Slice. They have great pizza, but on top of that they have these French fries, which are more like little fried potato discs. Oh, they're amazing. You gotta try them.
The other reason we wanted to make this video, aside from talking about conventions that we've done and running around Red Bank today, was to also talk about SaikouCon, which is coming up in a few weeks, and that is August 22nd through the 24th.
Yeah, so 2 weeks from today for us.
Yeah, I don't know when this will get posted. Hopefully before the convention, we'll get it up there. And
yeah, if we post it after the convention, it's at that point you'll realize we're really bad at our time management skills, or we have a TARDIS.
Yes, so we are going to be in the Lehigh Valley in Brenningsville, and in Pennsylvania, and we went out last year for SaikouCon, and it was their first year, and it was their startup convention year, and it was us and Terry Doty was a guest, and Jesse Pridemore, Ruffle Butt Cosplay. I'm sure there is we'll put the Twitters up for people's, and they were a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah, and that was you, myself, Mark again.
Yes.
And and one thing that doesn't get mentioned enough about SaikouCon, because this is really its second year.
Yes.
So it's still a new con. It's a small convention, and Lehigh Valley is not exactly. Look, don't hold this against me, people, but I've spent a lot of time up in Lehigh Valley. There's really not as much to do up there as there is on, say, like New York or Los Angeles or Philadelphia or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't, when there are conventions of any sort out there, it's usually a little smaller.
Yeah.
Last year, these folks were expecting 250 people, and they were nice enough to invite us to come out. Mike Mead, and really, it's a family affair for SaikouCon, which makes it even cooler because you had you got to see his grandmother who has no clue about anything anime related, doing badges, and she's there. While you've got Terry Doty, you had Jade Saxon.
Yes.
Who were the let's just say there was a third voice actor whose name escapes me. I apologize. LA voice actor.
I'm drawing a blank too.
We feel really bad about not remembering you, but we never actually got to meet you, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But they were only expecting 250 people. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, they had over 750 people.
Yeah.
First year. They ended up being on TV for multiple TV stations. They were on the radio. It just exploded. God only knows what's going to happen this year because I'm looking forward to it because, there was so much heart that, Mike and his family put into this because, unfortunately, they were left high and dry at the last minute.
Yeah.
Just, things happen. And staff, some people who said they were going to staff weren't able to make it, and these things happen. But, they all, and instead, Mike's family stepped right in and they're running around.
Yeah. It was a good group, and
great group.
I wish them a lot.
Fun con, a lot of heart. We had such a great time. I'm looking forward to it again.
So we're gonna get to do that again, and so we want you to join us, and make sure you go to www.saikoucon.com. They also have a Facebook page and a Twitter, so be sure to follow them. And while you're there, when you get your badge, be sure to pre-register for our 3-day voice acting workshop that's going to be there. Last year, we didn't have a lot of time to plan with them, and we did like a 1-day event with them to kind of test the waters because it was a smaller show. And but this year we're doing all three. We're doing all 3 days, and it will be myself and Greg and Mark. And we usually get like, you know, about 200 registrants per convention, and we can only usually get about 18 to 20 people to work with us on the weekend. So we have to pare it down, and we do. You probably saw one of our other videos where we pull names out of a hat, literally pull names out of a hat.
Yeah.
And so if you guys haven't had the chance to do this workshop yet, come to SaikouCon because it's a smaller convention. We've opened up registration, and we're not getting as many registrants as we thought we were going to get, as we have with a lot of the other conventions. And you know, it's because they're, you know, like when we do shows like SaikouCon, you got thousands of people, you're going to have hundreds of people interested. So when you have hundreds, you only have a couple dozen. So your odds are better at a show like SaikouCon that we're going to be able to get to work with you. So if you get a chance, drop us an email, and I'll put the address on the bottom, and it's Bill and Greg VA Workshop at gmail.com, and we will be in correspondence with people as we get our registrations. We're going to start picking names out of the hat on the 18th, so that we're ready for that Friday. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, if you want to look for updates, we are on Twitter and Facebook, facebook.com/3day VA, and the same thing on Twitter, twitter.com/3day VA.
Yeah, you know, just at 3day VA.
At 3day VA
for Twitters.
So yeah, so definitely keep an eye out for that, and we will see you in a few weeks. So hope to see you at SaikouCon.
Yep. Thank you much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And of course, no trip to Red Bank would be complete without a stop at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, which has become a staple of Red Bank, and for comic book fans and Kevin Smith fans all around, as we've probably seen from the show Comic Book Men. But we're not going to focus on that today. We're going to go over to Yestercades.
Yestercades is located in the heart of Red Bank, New Jersey at 80 Broad Street. They carry a large variety of vintage arcade cabinets and video game systems from the last 4 decades of gaming. All games are set to free play, and patrons are charged an hourly fee to play as many games as they'd like.